Greetings, I am Liz.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together.
Yay.
Man, this is kind of dragging itself out. I'm impressed with how long this is going, but I'm also like, why is this going so long?
Right?
At the same time, like, it's not building a lot for me in any way of, like, being more connected or even more excited or having more joy. Like, is this supposed to be more of a drama romance?
Right?
Like, I'm wondering, because it wasn't really pitched that way. It was just date hot dragons. Yes.
Oh, my God.
Anyway.
Yes, the boys.
All right, for the new episode.
It makes me so angry to see you treated this way.
Whoa, why do you care? What? You there we go. Yes!
It's like bullshit.
You gave up your claim
You went off to your magic
ago.
castle and your huge...
You don't even care about your parents, your responsibility, your duty to your kingdom, and you don't even want it if you get small. Why the hell are you after her?
And also going like, you don't even necessarily care to interact with it. Yes, right. Everyone knows you want nothing to do with the dragon world anymore.
And she is literally a lottery ticket to the dragon world and success there.
What is up?
Which means Small's going to marry either Dylan or me because you don't even fulfill the contract. Actually.
Like, you actually kind of have to. In other
words, she's none of your concern. And you shouldn't even be trying to date her, even though we supported you before because that's the way of things. Because now that it's down to the wire, you've got to realize you've been fucking negligent.
Oh, and also, you skipped out on the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have, in that way, considering the deal that she made, for sure, according to them, now she can change her mind. I know, it might not go well, but she could change her mind, for sure.
Yep.
But being like, yeah, they're right. Her marrying Rye would not fulfill anything. She would still need to marry either Phoenix or Dylan. Yep. So that's how you end up with two husbands.
That's how you do it. I got it. Rye scowls at their words.
That's such a scowl.
The most scowl. It's more like an eye roll. Overhead, the sky begins to turn gray from the beginning of a storm.
I love the fact that he's
because
the most
he can't
drama.
Control his emotions.
Because he's a little.
Because he's Elsa.
Yeah.
Rye, just try to calm down, okay?
What makes you think you two are any better than me?
I'm gonna have to watch you all fight here on the street in front of something.
Potentially my work. You're a trap all these stupid rules and you don't even say it.
Oh, God, Dylan sees it. Dylan will be like, excuse you.
Hi,
yes!
That's not true. We are trying our best to help Small, too.
Look, he has teeth, see, huh? We don't want to force her any more than you do, but we've actually accepted the responsibility of our positions, which she didn't get to choose hers, and neither should you get to choose yours, just as we didn't get to choose ours. Nonetheless, we can do our best at them. But it's not like we have much of a choice.
Again, you can change the system. It's not impossible to do so.
But you have to get into the system first.
And sometimes, it takes that awareness of going like, we don't have a choice right now, but we can make different choices later. And also keeping in mind what we've been through, keeping track of going, hey, by the way, we didn't get resources at this point. This is where we should change our system. It doesn't fucking work.
Once we inherit, we have more power and can do something different.
Because right now, especially for them, everybody seems to really strongly believe in a monarchy.
Yep.
So, really, in that way, again, Phoenix and Dylan are right. Rye has nothing to go, bark about at all. He's also...
Can you just imagine all of their parents are in the elder group? That's why they're not talking to their parents.
Oh, maybe.
Because their parents are elders, and once they get promoted, they'll be elders as well and be on the elder council, and that's how it works. The elder council is the commune of all the kings and queens of all the kingdoms.
That would be fascinating.
That could work for me, and that's the reason they're not calling any more adult help. Their parents are literally wearing the hood with the rest of the Hydra, standing there going, this is your duty.
This is what you
This is what we have all decreed together.
Yep.
And so you don't ask them because you already know. There's a time to fight and a time to stand down. Know with your damn beat, all right?
You hit the X.
Whoops, my bad. I was like, it's gone.
What happened? That's rich coming from you. I was waiting for that.
Fight. Guys. Oh my God. Please, this isn't helping anything. The three of them continue arguing in front of me. I walk away because it's not my battle. Because I know very little and my head is full of all the shit I've just been told I have to do. Calm them down or leave. Honestly, at this point, I'd like to leave.
What do you think?
I don't feel like... I feel like she's been overwhelmed so many times and has not been able to walk away from it. So many times she keeps explaining, I'm stressed out, I'm overwhelmed, I'm anxious. Like she keeps telling them I've been under a lot of stress. And then she keeps having to handle shit when she just wants to calm down for a while. I just want to relax for a while. I think she should walk away.
Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with either one. What do you think would basically happen?
I think for her, she'd be like, I'm overwhelmed with all the shit the dragon, elders just dumped on me.
I mean, I'm kind of with you.
I've already resigned
like, I'm
myself to this
okay
fate.
with either one, but I am definitely leaning more towards the leave. Also, especially because Small doesn't usually get a lot of choices to basically have her own space. And also, she really does. Every single time they fucking fight, she has to fix it.
Like I said,
And
she
it's
doesn't want
super
to caretake for all of them. And for her, this would be sort of daunting of any of them are my potential possible husband. And I cannot decide. I'm not going to sit here and talk them all down, where they're going to then potentially also face me down like they did before. Well, who do you have feelings for?
Right? Which
like,
is
I would be
terrible.
afraid of that if I was her, because they have cornered us a couple of times. What are your feelings like? Who do you have them for?
Which, to some people, I guess they're like, no, it's supposed to be funny and cute and animal. And I'm like, can you imagine, though, being in that scenario?
Terrifying that
like,
would be?
it's fucking
How
horrifying.
uncomfortable?
Going, I have to make all these big, huge, giant decisions, which I guess is one of those things where it's like, I'm not in that space. I can't do this right now in that way. I'm like, it's kind of horrifying.
All right, so we're just going to leave. Forget it. I'm not sticking around for this, and I can't fix it. I whirl on my heel, taking off.
Small?
Hey, come back.
Small, wait!
I start running. Rye gives chase, like always.
Because
Phoenix is probably giving chase too, except for it's got to be Rye, because we already had a date option with Phoenix.
So
now we got to have a Rye date option.
I thought it was...
Just leave me alone.
I thought it was Dylan next, not Rye.
Well, it doesn't always go in the same order.
That's true,
as I know. It's just 3 of them.
What?
Why don't you just go home, Rye? To your big fancy house, or go back to your argument and solve thing amongst each other. I'm trying to leave. Why don't you just go back to your normal life? It's what you really want. It's what you have wanted this whole time.
If that's what you really want.
Oh, if that's what you really want.
Because that is a good...
I can't help you get back to your normal life or keep any of the things you have that you say you like.
I can't do that, Small.
Why not?
Because Phoenix and Dylan are right.
They're right behind us, too. And standing there, waiting. They're right? His words stopped me in my tracks. We were running full tilt while he was yelling at me.
Yes.
And now I suddenly just again, super genetically privileged, just running full speed. Him running full speed next to you as a dragon and going, come on, Small. And I was going, no, go back to your damn life.
Go bone yourself.
Like, you know what? I don't want that anymore. They're right. Screech. What? Huh? Everything. It's like the Howl's Moving Castle thing, gales of wind yelling at each other.
Screaming, yep.
Yes, okay. Leaving me confused.
I'm sorry it took me so long to decide what I want. But now I know.
You want to be a prince?
If it takes being a dragon prince, then so be it.
That is not necessarily an acceptable sacrifice, my dude.
And that is also not necessarily...
Healthy
or okay. You putting yourself into a scenario where you aren't happy?
I will hate my entire life except for you for the rest of my life. But it's okay to hate all that because I will have you. Do you know how much of a support system that makes me and how exhausted you're going to be? Holy
oh my
shit,
god,
dude.
The amount of fucking, pressure. So that's another thing that always has bothered me sometimes. Again, I get the trope. I've written the trope. I've role-played the trope before.
Yeah.
I'm going, I've gone back to a position that I hate, right? That's basically the position that sometimes I've had characters have. Where they go, I can't stand this. But I did have something basically where I went, you know what? You give me basically, where I'm not so dark and I'm not so obsessed with all the things that I hate about this, and I'm able to go, what is actually good about this that I'm not getting?
And the thing is he could be not despite it all, he'd be like, I'm confident if you're there, I'll be able to handle it. But that would be a very different prospect.
Right?
Of going, sure, I hate this, but you make my whole goddamn day better.
Right.
Just having you around, your spark, your creativity, your fiery defiance sometimes makes me happy.
Right.
And that will make being a prince okay.
Right.
That would be a way different framing than I will put up with it so I can be with the romantic flutteries of you. Not you add to me and make this so it's okay. It's just, I will suffer this for you because I want you.
But also, again, that still leads into some way. I know of a lot of heavy dependence in that way, too.
It can.
But that would require a very long and complex conversation.
On the other hand, some people, it's simply, I will be a rice farmer because I want to be married to this person, and that's where they live.
Right.
And I will never be unhappy with being a rice farmer, not because I can't want more things, but because this is fine. And that's a very different mentality than I'm going to hate it, but do it anyways. If he went, that would be fine.
But
I
that's
would
also,
not feel as though I had lost or regretted my life if I chose this.
this is part of the thing, though, where I'm actually curious going, what does being a prince mean to you,
We
right?
have no
Because the thing is going,
idea.
oh, responsibility. So there's a lot of generic bullshit in here. This is the thing, like, I've critiqued in regards to, like, the Arcana.
We
What does
don't
it
know.
mean to be a duchess? What does it mean to be a countess? What does it mean to be any of these terms to these particular cultures and
Yep.
these, like, the way these things operate? I need to know how your system works, because otherwise, I've got nothing to really say.
Yep.
Like,
All
this is a really fucking awkward question. I have
Anyway,
no answers.
It's complex, but him just saying, I will do the distasteful thing so I can be with you, is not a healthy, immediate approach.
I feel, especially
I feel. All right.
I hope you will consider me just as you will consider Phoenix and Dylan.
Still supporting each other. Wingmen to each other, even as I want to win. Do you know what you're saying?
Yes, I do. I'm tired of hiding and running and spending all my damn time in my huge-ass fucking mansion where you cannot count all the rooms and all my servants and all the money and all the stuff that I worked so hard
That I have to work hard to understand and organize. I have to manage them. So I eventually hired a manager because I learned how to do that. I worked really hard to learn how these things work. Right. You're still kind of missing the point. Like Phoenix misses it. Always a little off to the left. But it's okay. You're getting closer. Like, those things are important. Household management is important. It's just a completely different skill. Like, all the way. Do you know how to dust?
My dude?
All right, anyway.
I think I could get through anything as long as you're in my life. Small. Why can't we just fucking be your friend?
Right.
Oh my fucking god. It's not like...
Right.
So this is the other thing, too, that I get very angry about sometimes in regards to stories where they're like, if you didn't pick me, I want nothing to do with you ever again, and we were never even friends.
Because the only connection that we have and value to each other is as a relationship. A romantic and consummated relationship. I don't know. Right? Are you sure? Poof! He just appears. He doesn't scoot forward. He doesn't roll on his wheelies. He just, poof, phases forward like a crack of lightning. All right. Rye smiles again, and I see the sky beginning to clear up again. That is totally smiling, you bet.
For you, I will be your dragon prince.
If that's what I want.
Honey, that's what I will do for you. I'll sweep you down off into high noon, and we're just gonna make it. We're gonna make it like tomorrow's biscuits.
This is how we ended up with this baby, you know.
No, but they're...
all of your baby, you know?
With all of your baby. All of theirs.
All of the baby. I will be. Continue on.
Sure.
Sure. That's an interesting place to end that chapter. Well, hang on.
Hang on.
It didn't work.
Oh, got it.
They do ads at every chapter. Oh my gosh.
Whoa, what the hell happened?
We are remembering it now. 2 seconds later. 2 seconds later, into a flashback. Poof.
All right, let's do full
Honestly,
anime.
This is kind of fun as like a monochrome.
Honestly,
it's pretty cool. I sort of like it. All right, so
I will be your dragon prince.
I remember.
I will take
2
you
seconds
like
later.
noon.
What I suspect is that she's actually somewhere else, and we've skipped the rest of that.
This is what I'm saying.
scene
Like, it starts getting
and all
really
the revolution.
disorienting.
Yep. That's what Rye told me yesterday. After, they were all arguing and they never resolved it, and the other 2 dragons people disappeared, and we didn't cover how I got home or anything happened, or did I even go to work? I'm not sure.
I don't know what happened in my life.
I know he meant every word, but I still feel like it's a shit deal because he will be unhappy except for me. But I also don't know anything about it and still have no interest because, you know what? Story framing. The fact that they didn't show on screen what the dragon elders told her at all means that to her, because to us, it does not matter.
Yeah.
She does not have any interest in what she's supposed to do.
Which is incredibly fucking frustrating. As
and
somebody,
weird.
I'm like, for especially all the amount of stress that she seems to be throwing this under, like going, it's so stressful to pick. It's like, yeah, but you literally fucking don't care.
Yeah.
You literally don't care, and you're super stressed. I don't know how the hell to help you other than be like, I guess get a therapist, get somebody who can help you write this shit down.
Start talking about it and also ask questions. Holy crap.
Like, oh god.
After always saying he didn't care about the dragon world, he changed his mind. All for me.
Or he's only reluctantly basically going, I'm going to concede mildly, and then I might become, where I've seen some people, they actually get really abusive because they hate everything.
Right. But is he the one I want? Forget him. We're remembering Phoenix saying this?
I guess.
You're what I want, Small. This was
and
another
all of
one.
and all of my boys.
Yep.
All of my men.
And I always get what I want. I'm really good at that. It's part of why I'm actually a good leader. Because I make a goal, and then I start out planning how to get there, and then I approach it, and then I achieve it. Like, you just do the steps and achieve it. It's actually really good. I'm also good at leadership because I help other people set goals, have clear expectations, set timelines. We use SMART goals so they're achievable and manageable and such.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always get what I want. Phoenix is always so confident with his words. I have to admit, it excites me. There's something thrilling about not being wishy-washy, which I've never really been, actually, except for in this case. Because everything outside of my feelings, I'm really decisive about.
I was about to say, I have to admit, it excites me for the first fucking time ever. Him being extremely, basically, more
direct and absolute.
And absolute. Finally appeals more to Small as a character.
Suddenly, which you never liked it ever before.
Not really, ever.
Now I suddenly go, it's kind of
It's really kind of frustrating. I won't stop fighting for you, Small.
I'm
just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go...
Okay.
I want to be the only one in your heart. Just like you're the only one in mine.
So you're saying you wouldn't like this poly experience of all three of you?
Probably not.
Dylan, you really have an intimacy and, like, connection thing, like, romantic, like I do not even access.
Especially in regards to that thing. So I mentioned actually at one point a thing about basically virginity, where people will heavily push basically one particular characteristic, and when you push it to its extreme, you can really basically have an extreme controlling aspect of it. Yes. That is like your whole life is literally defined by it, and if you ever, like in the case of virginity, where I feel like it's a lot of basically sex control, and a lot of control of women in particular, or at least basically individuals who are also assumed to be bodied or especially assumed to live a particular gendered experience. Going like, you're never allowed to have sex unless you're married in particular circles.
Unless basically we give you social permission.
But even then, because you become so obsessed with it, because this is how you define your life. I've heard some really sad stories where people are like, it was the worst time ever when I finally lost my virginity and in the way I was supposed to, and I felt broken and like I had done something wrong, and
I lost my identity in that moment. Now, people can lose identity for a lot of reasons, and I've read a lot of really cool essays and even books on identity loss because I have had trouble finding my identity. But in this case, they have a really strong, like, modesty and potentially purity culture, though it doesn't seem harmful necessarily in Dylan's case. We know very little about what its roots are.
Right.
But he seems very like, this is just basically inappropriate. You're being way too intimate with me immediately. And I actually have a character in one of my role plays where they really do have, like, their entire culture is formed around these, like, levels of intimacy where they actually have, even as it's, like, high tech, they actually have, like, rankings of intimacy where you do certain amounts of approaches, where you have friendship levels. And when you first meet someone and you establish that you may want to be friends with them, they start out as essentially a baby friend, where you have very clear boundaries of intimacy, where you don't share overly intimate things and you never dump those on them. Suddenly I will overshare. You have an idea of what kinds of intimate things you can handle and very clear boundaries in that way.
Right.
And so it's not like, we can't be physical together. It's really an emotional, social intimacy.
Right.
It's kind of, well, anyway, it has a parallel here.
Yeah, it kind of does. Well, but again, though, this thing of going, like, anything I think really taken to its extreme can be really goddamn dangerous.
Yes.
Which is why it's okay, I think, to explore it in fiction, because sometimes that's what fiction does. You're exploring the extreme. But here I'm like, God, can you imagine, like, Dylan going way too far with that, though, and just being like, any part of you being seen, or, you know, whatever else. Like, you could start getting to that level of basically body control, and then being taught going, if you are seen at all, you're considered to be basically garbage or trash.
Or you're involved with everybody, you know, that way. But it could also be an experience of going, you have a different culture and we can all respect that, and so for you this doesn't mean the same thing.
Right.
Like, you have no idea what their values and progressiveness are at all.
But again, we don't have any complex conversations with it. This is what makes these characters and not people, though.
Yeah.
For sure.
So sweet, as always.
Why are you always talking about he's like a 5-year-old?
I don't know.
He's so cute.
He's adorable.
He's so sweet.
I'll bet the guys are gonna... What? I'll bet the guys are going to seduce me now more than ever. They're all going to work harder to get my attention. I guess they are getting serious. But I'm not ready to make a choice yet.
Because we need to drag this out for another 6 hours.
All right, well, we are going to wrap this up right here.
Well, too bad. We're just not going to make a choice yet. Well, thank you, Ben, for joining us. So I guess in the next one, we'll see how long that will actually last.
Because honestly, the monochrome was kind of a fun way to end for me. And I don't know exactly where the end of the scene is, but I feel like we're getting close to the end. So we'll just go on to something new.
It's fine. So if you like what we do, then guys, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you've got some feelings or thoughts or whatever else, please feel free to share them.
Or a cool OC and world building you want to talk about.
Right? We love stories about original characters. We think they're fantastic. Stories are a great way to explore reality and to explore some things that maybe you don't actually always get to explore all that often, because guess what? That's not your experience.
It's true.
It just sounds cool.
All right.
And if you want to support us then more directly, please feel free then to go and check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We've got some links in the description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And it is lovely having you along for this, and we do generally have a lot of fun with it. It is great to share this with you. And I have been Liz.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!